situation, and that's the closest thing to a private school. That's one of the main reasons why they're shooting for school choice in private schools. Charter schools.
Line goes on and on. What's sad is that there is a line. 1 million kids are on waiting lists to get into the.
What's going on, YouTube? This is Marty coming to you once again with my view. So today, someone sent me a link to a Larry Elders video. And the video is about 10 reasons why blacks should leave the Democratic Party. Now, I must say this before I do this video. I'm not a Democrat. I'm not a Republican. I'm independent. And I feel that all blacks should be independents. All blacks should make the Republican Party and the Democratic Party fight for their votes. But I do lean toward the Democrats more because I feel like Democrats do more for blacks. And the Republican Party struggles with that. They don't know how to handle that situation. And in my opinion, they don't care about that. Because that's why you don't see no diversity in the party. Look at Congress. What do you see? You see 2 black males as the only 2 black people in the Republican Party in the legislation. One in the Senate and one in the House. Here it is 2020, and we only have 2 blacks, Republicans, in Washington, D.C. So that's something to think about. But let's get into Larry Elders' 10 reasons why we should leave the Democrat Party. And I'm going to break those down as we go.
10 reasons why blacks should leave the Democratic Party. Reason number 10, choice in education.
We will rescue kids from failing schools by helping their parents send them to a safe school of their choice.
Now, one thing about school choice is very controversial. And the reason why, because a lot of blacks do want school choice. And the reason why, because of the inner city schools, which are bad schools, which are out of control, which I agree with that. But let's flip that. Now, Larry Elders is going to talk about, blacks and Hispanics do want school choice, which is true, which I agree with that. But is that a reason to leave the Democratic Party? And the reason why I say that is because look at the southern states. I did a video about 4 days ago about Mississippi. Mississippi is a Republican state. Mississippi is at the bottom of the education system in America, along with other southern states who have Republican governors. So you tell me, if these states are being controlled by Republicans, why are they coming up last or at the bottom of the educational system in this country? But let's go and listen to Larry Elders some more.
The proposal that I brought forth on education ends all private charter schools in this country. And tonight I say that the city of Chicago sign a contract with the unions that does not expand charter schools in Chicago.
And so the point is, if I'm president, Betsy DeVos's whole notion from charter schools to this is gone.
But black and brown Democrats want choice. You know who doesn't? White Democrats. Poll results from Democrats for education reform. Among white Democratic voters, only 26% expressed a favorable opinion toward charters. Blacks, 58% favorable. Hispanics, 52% favorable. Again, these are among Democrats. Well, just how bad is school choice?
Some charter schools have raised kids' test scores.
High test scores made these charters so popular that parents line up hoping to get their kids admitted.
Now, one thing I must say also with this charter school thing, a lot of these black families who want to send their kids to charter schools are black families who are also involved with their kids. So that's one reason why there are so many blacks that really want to get their kids into charter schools, because they feel like it's a private situation and that's the closest thing to a private school. That's one of the main reasons why they're shooting for school choice in private schools. Charter schools.
Line goes on and on.
What's sad is that there is a line. 1 million kids are on waiting lists to get into charters in America.
Number 9, the Democrats' refusal to even consider the privatization of Social Security, something that would disproportionately benefit blacks. Because
Now, number 9, privatization of Social Security. I don't understand why he would think that this would be a reason to leave the Democratic Party. And the reason why I'm saying that is because I think when it comes to Republicans and Democrats, there's a lot of people on both sides of the arguments who's against privatization of Social Security. Because it's like, what you going to do with that money? Are you going to put it in a bank account, which have low interest rates, or you going to put it invested into the stock market, where you're taking a chance of the stock market's crashing? So it's like, really, what are you going to do to privatize Social Security? And Republicans and Democrats both are fighting over that, not because it's a partisan thing, because it's a bipartisan thing when it comes to fighting about privatization of Social Security. George Bush wanted to do that, but there was a lot of other Republicans who didn't want to do it. So this is not a Republican thing. This is not a Democrat thing. This is an American issue. So why is he bringing this up to try to convince black people that it's a good thing? And then some of the things he's going to say about financial issues with blacks being able to earn more and having a shorter lifespan, and that's another reason why they won't be for privatization of Social Security. But let's listen to it.
because African Americans generally have shorter life expectancies than do whites, they receive less total Social Security payments over the course of their lifetimes. Social Security also contributes to the growing wealth gap between blacks and whites. Because Social Security taxes squeeze out other forms of saving and investment, especially for low-income workers, many African Americans are unable to accumulate real wealth. And since Social Security benefits are not inheritable, that wealth...
Now, I don't think Social Security is the reason why blacks are not able to attain wealth in this country. See, this is a spin job that Larry Elder is putting on this. Show me any proof where it says Social Security is a way blacks can attain wealth. Please do.
Inequity is compounded from generation to generation. African Americans would be among those with the most to gain from the privatization of Social Security, transforming the program into a system of individually owned, privately invested accounts. Number 8, race-based preferences achieve racial diversity. What this does is cause a mismatch between college and students. The student, who supposedly benefited from racial preferences. This is UCLA law professor Richard Sander, who, by the way, is a Democrat.
Nationally, the great bulk of minority students, especially African American students, were receiving very large preferences, typically on a scale of a couple hundred, the equivalent of a couple hundred. Were receiving very large preferences, typically on a scale of a couple hundred, the equivalent of a couple hundred SAT points or 10 LSAT points, 10 to 15 LSAT points. That bar passing traits were generally very poor for this group. Only about a third of blacks starting law school in the early 2000s were graduating and passing the bar on their first attempt.
Number 7, the wealth.
Now, I'm for preferences when it comes to schools, and the reason why, because you have to understand something. For blacks didn't start getting into colleges, public colleges, until the mid-50s and the early 60s. Now, if you go back and you look at the way they admit students into these schools, public schools, take Georgia, for instance. Alumni students, kids, get preferences first. If your parents went to that school, you get a preference over everybody else, no matter what. Now, how do you offset the balance of diversity on your campus when you know that more whites had the opportunity to go to school before blacks started going to that school. You have to put preference in for black students in order to do that. And that's what a lot of people fail to realize, that preferences are there to help balance out diversity on the campus. Now, they brought up the fact that back in the early 2000s, 12% of the black law students, didn't pass the bar. But what they didn't tell you was how many white students didn't pass the bar. You see what I'm saying? It's wordplay here. But let's go on.
First date. LBJ's war on poverty. The intent was honorable. The effect disastrous.
The illegitimacy rate among blacks was about 12%. In 1918.
Now, you just heard him say 1918. Why are we talking about 1918 when that was a different era, a different time, and a whole different situation? When we all know blacks was more close family-wise in 1918. But why is he bringing that up?
The illegitimacy rate among black teenagers was less than that among white teenagers. So how do you explain the increase in illegitimacy or out of wedlock marriages or slut?
Now, I just did a video on this also this week when I was telling you about single white mothers are on the rise. Why? While single black mothers are staying steady. Over the last 30 years, the increase of single white mothers have risen over 20%. So let's explain that. See, we're trying to demonize the black woman and the black people, but they're not talking about the white people. They're not talking about how this is affecting white people. White people are becoming more single parents than black people at this point in time, as in the rate is on the increase in the white community. But let's listen on.
Loneliness in general. Well, I think any economist would tell you that if you tax something, you're going to get less of it. And if you subsidize something, you're going to get more of it, whether it's wheat, cheese, or slovenly behavior. And indeed, in the United States, we have been subsidizing slovenly behavior. That is, we have been making the cost of illegitimacy or having kids out of wedlock relatively cheap. That is through welfare payments, through other kinds of in-kind.
Now, see, this is what I dislike about Larry Elder and this group of people. They always talk about black people living off of welfare. Always talk about black people being subsidized by the government. But you know what they don't talk about? They don't talk about all those white single mothers in Kentucky, in rural Kentucky, rural West Virginia, rural Georgia, rural Tennessee, rural South Carolina, rural Mississippi, rural Alabama, rural Louisiana. They don't talk about none of those rural white people who's living off the government as well as black people are. So when LBJ passed that welfare law back in the 1960s, it wasn't just for black people. It was for all Americans. It was for all those people living in those rural counties in Georgia, South Carolina, Alabama, Louisiana, Mississippi. It was for them as well. See, they're the one who's bringing in this black-white thing. It's not the Democratic Party. It's people like Larry Elder who's doing this.
Payments.
Number 6. Illegal immigration. Something supported by big business for cheap labor, supported by Democrats for votes. George Borjas, the Harvard economist, has probably done more work on the effect of legal and illegal immigration than any other economist in the country. Because a disproportionate percentage of immigrants have few skills, it is low-skilled American workers, including many blacks and Hispanics, who have suffered most from this wage dip. The monetary loss is sizable. A typical high school dropout earns about $25K annually. According to census data, immigrants admitted in the past 2 decades lacking a high school diploma have increased the size of low-skilled workforce by roughly 25%. As a result, the earnings of this particularly vulnerable group drop by between $800 and $1,500 each year. End of quote. You see, Democrats realize that there are more votes porous borders than there are in wanting to secure the borders. Because after all, they used to sound just like Donald Trump on immigration. Check out Obama, Clinton, Feinstein, and Harry Reid.
Those who enter the country illegally and those who employ them disrespect the rule of law. And
Now, let's talk about immigration like Larry Elder want to talk about. Larry Elder, did you forget about something? Who is known as the deporter in chief? Wasn't that Obama? I think Obama deported more immigrants than any other president. Think about that, Larry.
they are showing disregard for those who are following the law.
All Americans, not only in the states most heavily affected, but in every place in this country, are rightly disturbed by the large numbers of illegal aliens entering our country. The jobs they hold might otherwise be held by citizens or legal immigrants. The public service they use impose burdens on our taxpayers.
I think we can enforce our borders. I think we should enforce our borders. If making it easy to be an illegal alien isn't enough, how about offering a reward for being an illegal immigrant? No sane country would do that, right?
I was with this person for 18 years and then we split up. I had such a broken heart and then I got that little pup.
Number 5.
Now, immigrations. You know, it's a known fact that a lot of Republicans in the South miss immigrants this year and last year. And what Larry Elder is talking about when he's talking about illegal aliens coming into this country, taking jobs from blacks, Hispanics who are legally here, that is not true. One thing, the jobs that a lot of those illegal immigrants take, black people don't want to do, like those farm jobs in the South. Ask those Republicans who voted for Trump in the South, who are farmers in the South, ask them who they miss right now. They miss those illegal aliens. And the reason why they miss them is because no one else wants those jobs. So when they telling y'all that these people are coming in here and they're taking jobs from black people, that's a lie. It's a lie. Because black people do not want to work on farms. Black people do not want to work in chicken factories. They don't. And those are the type of jobs that these undocumented immigrants are getting. And guess who's hiring these people? Those same Republicans who want to keep them out. So let's go on.
The Democrats' hostility towards the police. All these false accusations of institutional racism do one thing: cause the cops to pull back, causing crime to go up. It's called the Ferguson effect.
Well, the Ferguson effect is the twin phenomenon of officers backing off of proactive policing and the resulting increase in crime. Last year, we had the largest one-year increase in homicide in nearly a half century. The vast majority of the victims of that homicide increase have been black. The reason for this crime increase, I believe, is that officers are living today under a false and dangerous narrative that says that they are shot through with systemic racism, that we're living through an epidemic of racially biased police shootings, and that the type of proactive policing that I think is responsible for a 20-year crime decline that this nation has enjoyed is under attack as racially oppressive.
Number 4, Democrat.
Now, I'm going to laugh at that. They're saying that just because people feel like police is being over-aggressive toward black males and shooting them because they're being over-aggressive, that they're pulling back now. And that's why crime is on the increase. Which, I think this is an old video that he put up, but if I'm correctly, crime is on the decrease, including murder rate. It's on the decrease in this country. So I think Larry need to go back and revise his video because that's not true. And yeah, there is a bias toward black males when it comes to the police. And actually, there are law enforcement who have admitted to that. That yes, they tend to be a little bit more aggressive toward black males because of the racism attitude that they have. The pre-notion that that black males are more aggressive than white males or white people. That's a known fact. So I don't think that's a reason why blacks should leave the Democratic Party. But let's go on.
Job killing policies. As my dad used to always say, I never got a job from a poor person. Let's just take one example. The ever increasing minimum wage.
Thus, the consequences of minimum wage rates have been almost totally dramatic. The increased unemployment and the increased poverty.
Now, I'm gonna stop my video there because y'all was listening to my video that I did earlier, and I decided to do a live and play the video. But you know, this is one reason why I say when it comes to politics, we need to stop listening to people like Larry Elder and people like Candace Owens, because these people are feeding us garbage. They're feeding us nothing but garbage. And it's to the point where you're not getting a true answer from these people. They're trying to manipulate people into voting for Republicans. And the Republican Party is no different than the Democrat Party. Now, I stated earlier that I'm an independent, but I do lean towards the Democrats because the Democrats do kind of show me more than what the Republican Party can show me. When you look at the Republican Party, you look at a party made up of old white males. That's what you see. Look around Washington, D.C. What do you see in Washington, D.C.? You see two Republicans in Washington, D.C. that are black males. That's it. That's it. So we need to get out of this notion that Larry Elder and Candace Owens and Brandon Tatum, they are speaking this truth, and they're not. Black people are proud people. Black people knows what's good for them. And all this horse manure that these people putting out is just horse manure. You know, we striving to be better for ourselves. We're not trying to go backwards. And that's why I said, Miss Yvonne, when you were saying that your mother was a maid and you was a maid and y'all did it because it was the money was good, that's a great reason. You know, but a lot of people in this community today, they're striving to get an education. They're striving to be better than what their ancestors was 60, 40, 100 years ago. And the Republican Party is not trying to give you that. They don't want you to feel empowered as a black person. They want to take that power from you. It's just look at the big picture. Now, like I said, I'm independent. And I wish all black people was independent. Because I think we could make a bigger difference if we really was independent and we really did make people earn our vote instead of just giving it to them. But it's hard to not give it to the Democrats when the Republican Party is not showing you nothing at all. Nothing. Everything that Larry Elder just talked about was no reason to leave the Democratic Party. He didn't really give you no valid reason to leave. Because think about it. What have the Republican Party showed black people? Nothing. Nothing at all. They haven't showed them nothing. Donald Trump is sitting up here every day saying racist things toward minorities. Why would you want to leave the Democrat Party to go to the Republican Party when you got a person like Donald Trump leading that party? That's crazy. That's insane. That's really insane. But as black people, we need to wake up and understand both parties have a long ways to go when it comes to black people, when it comes to minorities in this country. They really do. And we need to stand up and show them that we're more than just a vote. We deserve more than what we are getting. You know, and it's sad, that we're not getting that. No, we got another election coming up in November. What are we going to do? We're going to sit on the sidelines, or are we really going to try to make a difference in the person that we choose to vote for? Yvonne, you crazy. Okay, she's crazy. But yeah, we really need to understand that we need to make our vote count. We really do need to make our vote count. We really do. But Yvonne, thank you for stopping by, sweetie. I appreciate the support. Thank you for stopping by. So I'm going to end this now. Thank you, Mark, for stopping by. I appreciate y'all stopping by and listening to my message. Like I said, we just need to understand people like Larry Elder is not good for the black community. When they're talking to black people, they're not really talking to black people. They're talking to white people who's trying to make a decision on black people. No, racism is not divided by parties. And that's the whole thing about it, Mark. People try to throw that only Democrats are racist. Nah, that's not true. That's not true at all. That's not true. So, and I don't understand why people accept that fact or try to accept that myth that Democrats are only racist. You got racists in both parties. No ifs, ands, and buts about it. But I'm finna get out of here, get ready for my day, get ready for the Super Bowl later on. Thank y'all for stopping by. Until next time, y'all have a great Sunday and enjoy them games. And I hope everybody rooting for them Chiefs, because that's what's gonna bring it. That's who's gonna bring it home today. Those Chiefs. KC is gonna bring it to the house. So y'all have a good day. Until next time, peace.